station, NTA2Lagos Network Center.
No more, I don't buy more nobody. They say my market no go sell nobody. And then they say I no go nobody.
Hooray! Children's Day is here again. NTA2, your regional station, is set to give you so much fun, entertainment and excitement as we celebrate Children's Day. Children, you can't afford to miss this fun day. Side attractions include red carpet and photography, march past, presentation by schools, bouncy castles, train rides, lots to eat and drink, and so much more. Date: Thursday, 24th May 2018. Time: 10 a.m. Gate fee: 1,000 naira per child. Venue: NTA Television House, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Special guests: Her Excellency Bolanle Ambode, wife of the Governor of Lagos State, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Senator representing Lagos Central Senatorial District, Senator Musuli Obanikoru, former Minister of State for Defense, Alhaja Adu Rashida Tabiodun, Chairman Iru Victoria Island Local Development Council Area, Chief Host Chidi Uluka, Zonal Director Lagos Network Center. NTA2 Children's Day Party, powered by MTN, Photo Fast Group, Dufil Prima Foods, makers of Indomie Noodles, Daily Foods Limited, Elo Water, La Sena Water, UAC Restaurant, Star Times, and Visual Drink. For further inquiries and participation, please call Wale on 080-3702-2845 or visit the Marketing Department, NTA2 Lagos Network Center. NTA2 Children's Day Party, celebrating children. Don't miss it.
Are you a competent food vendor? Does your cooking tantalize the taste buds? Yes. The management and staff of NTA2 Lagos Network Center seek partnership with a capable caterer in local and intercontinental cuisines to manage the station's canteen. Interested food vendors can pick up a form for a fee of 10,000 naira only at the NTA Television House, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island. All application forms must be duly filled and submitted on or before Friday 25th May 2018. For further inquiries, please call Drisu on 070-5079-1978. Announcer, Management.
Bad road is never an end road. Follow the road. It will lead you somewhere. So don't give up. The first major information was to Esau. Esau, make me a venison such as I love, so that my heart will bless you. But this style of approach towards life made him to miss the blessing. The animal that Jacob ended up preparing for the father has always been around the house. But he chose to go far into labor to go and bring another animal. By the time he will come, the father has blessed Jacob. You've got to plan, long time plan, short time plan. Whatever is the plan, start planning. Because not planning at all is planning to fail. Opportunity of a lifetime must be taken in the lifetime of that opportunity, because opportunities are not permanent. Anywhere your parents failed, may God use you to correct the error.
Desire and I long to worship.
Hold it! Me! I don't come out my hand from oil concrete. General, what you gonna yarn? What did the yarn serve? I don't understand.
I don't think Nigeria or Nigerians are moral, because you see every society is guided by something, by ethics or like a code of conduct, and sometimes this is driven from one religion or the other. But here in Nigeria, you find people who claim to be religious just being fanatics, because they don't do what their religion asks them to do. They don't follow, the principles of their religion, and this affects the society, and it affects their morality as a whole. Because you see the things happening in this country, you can't say it's a religious problem that is peculiar to either this religion or that religion, because we are all collective here, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, and you see all sorts of people doing all sorts of things.
Me, if I was doing the same thing and is going against the same thing he learned in school, it means there's a problem with self. So you can go to church, take all the doctrines, after the man speaks, the pastor, the imam, after they finish talking, you will more or less be manifesting a biological process. You hear, but you did not listen.
Yeah.
Then when you hear, you do not listen, there's no tendency for you to like retain that which you heard. It takes self. It takes the power of self for you to like, you know, that which you heard, to like turn it into something that becomes a virtue in you, that you use to like, you know, harness every aspect of morality. So whether we like it or not, spirituality is the vehicle through which you can give birth to morality. And what does spirituality say? Your belief system in, or your desire to find a meaning through religion. So religion comes, do not kill. I've heard it. How much of me gets into that to the point that, you know, I can give it out? So when I can't practice that which was preached to me, it means the vehicle that takes that which has been preached to the point of manifestation is either weak or lacking.
And that's the spirituality.
That's spirituality. Because for you to find God, for you to understand the meaning of life, for you to find purpose, it's a spiritual thing. So what now happens is that, you know, religion enhances spirituality.
Yes.
To give birth to morality. So if you take and self is weak, there's nothing you can do, and that's the problem we have. People hear but do not listen. If they are able, if they listen, they can contain, then they can give out. So that's why we talk, we go to church every day, preach, do things. At the end of the day, when it comes to
practicing it,
walk the talk, it becomes a problem because of self. So for me, I think if self is not harnessed to a point where it can actually contain spirituality to enhance religion. You go to church, what does religion do? You know, religion says, you know, adherence to this doctrine. So if self is not right, you cannot adhere. You don't obey when there's something wrong with self. You don't obey. The person who goes to kill, the person who goes to kidnap, is a self-government that has gone wrong. If that self-government were right, you will understand the power of religion, the doctrines, to yield forth the morals that religion demands. That's my take.
Which begs the question I want to ask you, because now, if I understand, we now have three separate things: religion, spirituality, and morality. But if I understand you, you are saying without the spirituality, you know, you don't have a full component. So it's like they are sort of intertwined.
Yes.
So from what we are saying now, do we think Nigerians have it? Because we can have some people that are actually moral, but they don't believe in religion, or they don't adhere to anything religious.
Absolutely. And I think that's where there's a bit of a conundrum. I know people who are good people. They're really good people. At least judging from the outside, you cannot know what's in somebody's heart. The way they deal with people, they seem to have an active conscience. They're kind, they're thoughtful, they're forgiving, they're generous, and so on. And you won't see every Sunday they're sitting at home watching TV, or they're going to a friend's place, or going to watch football, and so on and so forth. Going to church, maybe it might happen like 2 or 3 times in a year, you know, they're so... And then you meet these people who will attend every activity in church. Right. In fact, sometimes on Sunday, if there are like 3 or 4 services or masses, they want to go through the whole thing, and so on and so forth. And you encounter them in the office, and somebody just carried maybe a pen
they left. And they unleash hell on that person. They make sure the person gets a query. They do this. They themselves, the housemaid they have in the house, they treat her like a slave. She cannot eat decent food. She's supposed to be in school, but she is not. And yet this is somebody who spends practically every waking moment in church. And for me, sadly, that's where the disconnect is. You described what should be the ideal. If you are religious, automatically it should be that you are moral. Automatically it should be that your spiritual consciousness is awakened. But that is not always the truth. I can't count the number of times I'm reading something in a paper and a pastor or an imam has done the unthinkable. And this is the person who is trying to mold and shape other people.
Yeah, this is my take to that. It still boils down to one thing: self. It still boils down to self. And it's the issue of, more or less, call it unconscious incompetence. When you do not know that you don't know, that's a problem. So when you go to church, it's religion. But when you discover the meaning of life, the purpose of life, that as a human being, first and foremost, I should be pro-creation. As a human being, you know, I should be pro-humanity. As a human being, I should be pro anything that adds value to mankind. I use the word here, more or less in the words of Miles Monroe, who says, you know, the best government in life is self-government. The young lady who stands on the road is standing there because her self-government is wrong. The man who goes to kidnap. So if it is wrong, what happens? The man who goes to church, you listen to the pastor. There's something the pastor did to himself for him to be able to stand there to preach to you. So the first question is not for you to just come and take and go. It's for you to understand God for yourself.
Yeah, I think I agree with what he said about knowledge, because that's the biggest problem facing us when we're talking about this. There's massive lack of knowledge. And then the more dangerous one, half-baked knowledge.
That's right.
Which a lot of people, including the upper clergy, suffer. And then when you see somebody doing wrong, something morally wrong, and you talk to them, they will be like, no, my pastor said it's okay, or my imam said you could do that. I know I've had arguments with people on this, you know.
Or you even get, this is how we have been doing it.
This is how we in fact, in the Quran it was mentioned, God kept telling about people who, when a prophet is sent to them, they'll be like, no, our fathers from times of old, this is what they have been doing. And unfortunately, you know, back to what you said about lack of knowledge, people really do not even understand the concept of who God is, his power, the might he has, and what is awaiting you on Judgment Day. So actually people sometimes just get careless, because there's no retribution on earth. It's not like in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah when you do wrong and they overturn the cities, you know. So people have become complacent. Some people don't care. Some people really think God is not that powerful.
They don't want to know.
Some people think they can talk their way out of it on Judgment Day or pay. Yeah. There was somebody who even said to me, when I was talking to them about something to do with embezzlement and fraud, you know, some petty, you know, embezzlement and fraud, and they're like, I don't think God really has time to deal with these kind of issues on Judgment Day. But you see, this is all lack of knowledge. And as you said, some people don't know they don't know.
They don't know.
Some people don't want to know. They really don't. And that's the major, unless we go back to intensive formal religious training, which really is not on ground anymore. Islamic school, Sunday school, we are not addressing those issues. We are just reading the Bibles and the Qurans. We are not, you know, going through, as they said, you are quoting a Bible verse just before we started, and you said you thought it wasn't a fair verse. Till you now sat down and you absorbed and you assimilated what it meant in relation to body. And certainly not teacher, because the environment. The environment is toxic.
This is my take. You know, every child out there has a content provider to the thought of.
You spend night vigil, you fast, you go, but it's like people that go to school and read heavy textbooks and write their exams and get A1, and 2 weeks later when you give them the same exams, they will, because people are not going to church or mosque anymore to get closer to God. People are going to church or mosque just because to fulfill a religious requirement.
And sometimes sometimes it's just because you want to blend in. You don't want to be the odd person sitting at home when every other person...
there's a social... Because I can assure you, most people, if they're in societies where going to church or mosque is not really seen as something, they would not. Most people are doing it for the wrong reasons. So like people that study and cram for exams just to pass the exams, people are doing this. So at the end of this all, when they leave the churches and the mosque and they go to their places of work, they leave all that behind. As you said, they will harass anybody. They will slap the driver who did wrong. They will cheat. They'll steal. They'll come to work late. They will embezzle. They will maltreat their house helps. In fact, some people will be reading a Bible or Quran and then they'll shout at somebody and continue. You'll see somebody with stickers, I'm too protected to be defended, I be my year of divine anointing, and the person is running through a red light that has 34 seconds still jumping on it. So where is that? The connect is not there. People have completely divorced God and religion from daily life. Our religious scriptures are codes of conduct, but people don't know that anymore.
Meant to be codes of conduct.
Well, okay, that's their choice, and they're meant to be. But so I think this is where we are facing the problem. Unless we go back to formal instruction, unless we go back and go to church for the sake of wanting to be better Christians, unless we start reading the Bibles and the Qurans for the sake of wanting to understand what is in those books and practice them and live by them and enjoin them on others, we are going to remain in the same position or even go back.
I think, whether we like it or not, sometimes we keep mentioning church. I believe if there must be a change, it must start from the family.
From the
unit.
family.
Just like what you said.
From the family.
What do you want your child to see, to do? Do it. And somehow, for me, I work with youth a lot in my church. And the truth be told, I've seen it work. I've seen a child come from a very chaotic environment. His psyche is messed up, he's violent prone. When you see him, you just know that the guy has lost his bearing because of upbringing at home. It's not his fault. So you begin to mend that child. And in so short a time, you see the child turns. You see joy, you see smiles. He comes to church, he goes to the Bible, he wants to lead the pack. Which means, whether we like it or not, as parents, whether you have a child or not, the society you want to live in when you are old, if you don't build it now, it's a waste of time.
I agree.
So it's reorientation.
I agree.
We must begin to say no to the things that are happening. The cultures of embezzlement, the culture of, be good only when you are in church is something that we, each and every one of us, we exhibit it in one way or the other. And we begin to ask ourselves that question. Self, what is my self-worth? If my self-worth is not projected towards pro-humanity, like we said before you came, we even talked about this. If my self-worth is not meant to protect life, protect mankind, empathy, mercy, compassion, kindness, we have that problem.
And still coming back to it, just buttressing what we've all said here. So many parents have adopted a dereliction of duty style, wherein it is the duty of the school not just to instruct in academics, but to mold the child morally. I think it's wrong and bad. Wrong. It's evil. It's lazy. I don't know which other word to look for it.
Wrong.
It's equally bad to try and place it on the church. Yes, okay, the church or the mosque, our clerics have the responsibility of trying to build us up religiously, spiritually and everything. But the onus lies on the parents. Because by the time a child is 7, that child's character is molded.
You know why I'm not to interrupt you, why I kept calling the religious institutions, like in my own religion, you understand? Everything is intertwined. You as a parent, to carry out your duty, you have to go exactly by the doctrines that have been laid down by the religion. There is a code of training for parents.
That's right.
And if you do not follow that, then you cannot do what he said. So it's still where I'm calling on that religiosity. You have to be religious. You have to obey, well, in my own religion at least, you have to obey the religious structures of parenting to even be a good parent the way he said and turn out a responsible, you know, because there's a verse in the Quran where God said, "Oh, you who believe, you know, protect yourselves and your families from hellfire whose fuel is man and stones." So there are things that as parents you have to take the training from the religious institutions.
Well, I agree with that, because of course the religion forms the essence of our belief
And our beings.
And our being, of course, because we all have connection to super being or God.
Yes.
You understand? We all have this belief. If only we can truly go back to practice the religion as it is. Yes, the family is the foundation level, but yet it is in the family that religion can be practiced. It is in the family that the molding of character, attitude, behavior, and every other thing can be molded. The foundation is laid. After you go out, it all depends. You know, sometimes as parents we want to be overprotective. We say, we want to do children to go to boarding school because we don't want to get them exposed. But I always tell parents that once you have done the nitty-gritty, what is expected of you as a parent from the time, from 0 month to 5, 6 years, if you have done what is right,
that's the crucial age.
The rest you leave it.
Build their minds wherever they are. You can sleep.
I'm no psychologist, but many parents make the mistake of trying to start molding children when they are teenagers. It's late.
No, it's very.
See, you can be a parent. You are supposed to be a parent when the child is from 0 to 5. By teenage, you should be the child's friend.
That's it.
And when he becomes adolescent, you should just be his mentor. There's nothing else you can do.
That's right.
There's an observation to a point that he made. He said children normally, do what their parents do, and that's the most natural thing. But there's a new trend, or maybe it has been around for some time. I have seen parents who are good, who are kind, who are upright, who are strict and straight, yet they do not impart the same values on their children. From where I come from, you see parents who are, conservatively dressed. We have a dress code in my religion, everybody knows that. You see parents conservatively dressed, the father, the mother, and they're going to go out, and their children of whatever age, even 21, 22, are dressed in the exact opposite way. The parents bought those clothes, and when you dare talk and you say to them, nowadays children,
and I really hate that. I hate that. For instance,
people do that.
On occasion you're driving to church. There's a minor with her parent. The parent is responsibly dressed. When I say responsibly dressed, I mean bits and pieces aren't hanging out and all that. But this person who is a young teenager, maybe 13 or 14, is wearing a mini skirt that stops somewhere here. She's wearing a spaghetti strap dress, and I'm like, okay, this child doesn't earn a salary. So somebody bought her those clothes. She's probably not married, so it's not a boyfriend or a husband. It's the parent that went and bought these skimpy things and decided that they were appropriate, because she's following you, isn't she, to church.
And let me just interject. This same parent will look at another somebody else's child and saying something nasty about the child.
It's like I use the word content provider. These are the content providers. But the truth be told, whether we like it or not, if we do not interrupt this current culture
now
by, nursing something new that will grow from ground upwards. So when a child grows from this end and comes to see this at this particular level, the child knows that, when I said it off camera, my 9-year-old is too sensitive to the point that he knows the things that he should not do, and when he sees it, he says, Daddy, look at what he is doing. It's not right. He tells you it's not right, which means if you walk child to a large extent, if he goes to boarding school, you have built his mind to a point where nothing can influence the child.
Yes.
Because the onus lies on us parents too. You can't run away from it.
But how do the parents change this? Some parents are not even equipped because they don't even have.
And that's you just said it all, and that's why we said, the school, the
Sorry,
church,
I am lost here. The parents are not equipped. How?
to impact this kind of...
Yes, some parents, because
Does it
as you
really
said,
have to do with education?
it's
No,
it
no,
doesn't
no,
do
no.
with
How are
parents.
they raised themselves?
Yes, or some of them have lost it somewhere along the way.
That's
Like I
the
was telling
point.
you something, you were not here earlier. There are people that do things, you know, and they didn't even know it's wrong. And unless you told them, some of them will be like, okay. You know, so these are people that are raising children. There was somebody I had cause to correct. Some time back I was in Kano. My auntie was going out with a 19, 20-year-old girl, and the child did something that did not conform to the Islamic faith. You know, it didn't conform. As women in Islam, you are not allowed to wear perfume and go out where somebody can perceive it. It is not allowed. It's a major sin. And this girl doused herself so much, you need a gas mask. And as she was stepping out, I called her. I said, why? You are even fully covered, but you are, and you know there's the curses of angels on you. Then the mother was like, oh, really? I'm like, Hajia, you don't know? She said, no, I thought it just applied to married women. So you see, she honestly did not know. But this law is clear. In Islam, there's no you are married or you are not. It's either you are matured or you're not. That's what it called. But she really didn't know. So she is not equipped in that sense. This girl had been going out with her all these years and she never knew. That's what I meant by people are not even equipped in some cases. It's not that they don't want to teach. So if we are going to, even those of us that the honors are on, we have to, that's why I said we need to return. We have to have the formal education all over, because some people truly they do not know, so they cannot help.
And then there are those who do know,
But don't
there are those who do know, but have decided that, okay, this is the general trend the world is taking now. I don't want my child to be that standalone person. I would rather my child blends in, so that things that they would ordinarily in themselves not be comfortable with, they're like, this generation. Okay, for instance, when I go shopping with my teenage daughters, there's the outfit you will pick that yours truly is not going to pay for. I won't pay for it. I have to know that your bits and lady parts and everything is reasonably decently covered. Yeah. But I also know that there's a trend now where parents are comfortable and maybe even encourage what is called low waist for young men, where you see their undies showing. Yeah, parents encourage it because they feel that's what young men now are doing. I don't want my child to be the one not doing it. Wearing leggings that are so tight that the camel toe is showing, because that's what every other person is wearing. And I'm like, I was raised to stand out, to be different, to not go with the crowd. If everybody else is doing this, do something different. Let other people look at you and want to emulate you and want to be like you. Don't always be a follower. But now you have a whole pile of parents who want their children to just follow the herd.
And for me anyway, I agree with what you're saying, and then at the end of the day we still want our children to be the kings and queens in the society, which is not possible. Now what I try to tell my children is that, see, whatever you do, whether you're eating, drinking, clothing, how you sit, how you talk to people, you should be able to know that you are a king or a queen. And how do royalty dress? How do royalty behave? No matter what, you will never see a royal person dressed anyhow. So these are all other positive ways we can begin to talk about this. Let's remind ourselves that, okay, these same children, we want them to be leaders tomorrow. Everything we're doing, we struggle to get all the money because we want to give them a better future. But this better future without morality has a big clause there, has a big question mark. They can't go far because they've missed it out. So we must go back. We still have to go back to the issue of parenting. If you don't know, that's why people go to Islamia. Even there are married women that still go to Islamia. I know there's Islamic learning for married women. And of course, there are a lot of activities in the church where people learn all of these things. So of course, whatever it is we need to do, we must go back to the beginning, which is the family foundation, which is you and I doing the right thing, teaching the right thing, speaking the right thing, behaving the right way. And believe you me, that is where we start. Because again, when we talk about corruption, whatsoever we talk about it, whenever we want to address corruption, if we don't start addressing moral corruption from the home basis, we're not going anywhere.
That's right.
Okay, Francis, you're an actor.
Yeah.
And you're a versatile actor. There are certain actors that are typecast. They're forever the bad guy or forever the good guy, but I've seen you in different roles. So on those occasions when you are forced to portray the bad guy, what do you come home and tell your kids?
You see, first and foremost, there's one thing.
Yeah, started scratching his ear.
No, it's not something that I even, you see, my kids sometimes they read the script, they understand my job, they know the role,
Communication.
My son, the last one, even when pretend he said daddy and it's fake now, you say my daddy is not an armed robber. You understand me? And I've taken out time to make them understand that the nature of my job is to amplify evil for you to see that evil is wrong. And I've made them to understand that, anything you do, evil must never go unpunished. So if they understand what you do, which they do, my first is 20, she's graduating next year. The second one is 13 in boarding school. The last one is 9. They understand. Sometimes they read my script. They know when those roles are bad roles, and I ask them, what are the bad things here? So they see through me what is wrong with the society and understand well that it is not good. So
essentially, they know you're just doing a job.
Yeah, they know that it's just.
And I want to say that if his attitude at home has been consistent,
yeah,
they won't have issues.
No, I don't say that.
If his behavior, the way he speaks, the way he does, everything is consistent. Anything else they see, they know, this is just.
This is all fine and good. Sorry, this is all fine and good, because we are speaking to him, and some of you know him personally and stuff like that. But let me talk on the side of those of us on the other side of the box, and we see him shooting, and it's sort of, for some weak-minded people, it glamorizes that.
Yeah, even in church, I've been faced with that. I teach in the youth church.
If I'm honest, I will not let my child attend the youth church that he is teaching at me if that's what he normally is typecast as.
No, but he's not typecast.
No,
that's why I said
if.
Now, the truth is, just like you said, they are weak minds. I teach in the youth church. I tell you, you don't do drugs. Then you see me doing drugs. If you have a strong mind, you definitely understand that I don't do drugs. You understand that this is a medium of expression. But like you mentioned, weak minds. So weak minds, that you understand that anything you see in front of the camera is to preach against evil. I've had parents in the youth church who say, but this is what you're teaching the children, this is what you're doing. I say, well, the guy you see there is not me. It's a character. I play it so that your child will see the dangers of doing drugs, so that the character does not end well. It is not what you see, but how did it end? Are you following it completely? So do not just judge and say because you've seen that child, but the parents should understand that, look, there's a whole lot wrong with the system now, especially in the creative industry.
It's good that you said weak minds. That's just the problem. So many people
there's a whole lot wrong now, which we are also fighting. We fight some scripts that are totally away.
I was going to ask that question, that as a practicing Christian, are there certain rules that you've been offered and rejected?
Yes.
Such as?
I will never do anything that has to do with, anything that has a pornographic, perspective. I'll never do anything that has to do with, being with a sense of homo. In this boundary,
morality,
away from expressing immorality on set, because as an actor you are a medium of communication. For you to see that evil is really bad, I express it to a point where it nauseates you. When it nauseates you, you begin to see what has happened to me at the end. It is to tell you that this is wrong. And that's why I always tell people, you know, for the actor who comes on to play that negative role, don't punish that person. Understand where that person is going a long way to, like, you know, express evil in its totality for you to say that it is bad.
And the good thing is that with the industry, it's almost always the bad guy gets punished. But I can't say that for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Sometimes in Hollywood, the bad guy gets away with it.
I said,
it's not a movie comparison thing. We run out of time. And I think the consensus here is that we need, generally as Nigerians, as people, to find a way that our religiosity translates itself into something spiritual that is a guide for our lives generally. And on that note, we are concluding what I think was a very interesting discussion. I'll ask us here to just quickly wrap it up with one word each and with our names, and then we'll call it a day.
My name is Francis Du. It's been wonderful here, and I thank God for everything that has happened.
My name is Halima Osman, and I want to say to all parents, please let your words and your action, let them be consistent. That is the first step toward having a corrupt-free and making sure that your religiosity, whatever that means to you, is really sincere. Let there be consistency in your attitude. Thank you.
Well, my name is Zainab Sadiq, and my own parting words are: learn your religion before you start being spiritual. And
until we meet again in the conversations room next time, have a lovely day.
Hooray! Children's Day is here again. NTA2, your retail station, is set to give you so much fun, entertainment and excitement as we celebrate Children's Day. Children, you can't afford to miss this fun day. Side attractions include red carpet and photography, march past, presentation by schools, bouncy castles, train rides, lots to eat and drink, and so much more. Date: Thursday, 24th May 2018. Time: 10 a.m. Gate fee: 1,000 naira per child. Venue: NTA Television House, Amadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Special guests: Her Excellency Bolanle Ambode, wife of the Governor of Lagos State, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Senator representing Lagos Central Senatorial District, Senator Musuli Obanikoro, former Minister of State for Defense, Alhaja Adu Rashidat Abiodun, Chairman Iru Victoria Island Local Development Council Area, Chief Host Chidi Uluka, Zonal Director Lagos Network Center. NTA2 Children's Day Party, powered by MTN, Photo Fast Group, Dofil Prima Foods, makers of Indomie Noodles, Daily Foods Limited, Elo Water, La Sena Water, UAC Restaurant, Star Times, and Visual Drink. For further inquiries and participation, please call Wale on 080-3702-2845 or visit the marketing department, NTA2 Lagos Network Center. NTA2 Children's Day Party, celebrating children. Don't miss it.
Are you a competent food vendor? Does your cooking tantalize the taste buds? Yes. The management and staff of NTA2Lagos Network Center seek partnership with a capable caterer in local and intercontinental cuisines to manage the station's canteen. Interested food vendors can pick up a form for a fee of 10,000 naira only at the NTA Television House, Amadou Bello Way, Victoria Island. All application forms must be duly filled and submitted on
On the news tonight, All Progressives Congress holds local government congress in Lagos. Governor Ambode woos World Bank to fund strategic projects in Lagos State. NYC 2018 Batch A orientation ends as DJ shows core members of security. Plus sports update
to the rising of the US space program. So kudos to them, and I'm so looking forward to that. Hidden Figures, amazing. And now let's go check out our movie trailers for today. The program will continue right after that.
Will change the world.
No, it's something else. Some dark power. It's growing.
Your mind is the most powerful I've ever seen.
How many witches were burned at Salem? Many. None. They didn't burn witches at Salem. This whole war. Everything. It's only about her. I'm scared to win. There will only ever be one winner. From our movie trailer break. Now we're looking at one of the most sensational singer in Nigeria. I'm talking about Tiwa Savage, who is in the news again, but this time around I don't even know if we'll call it bad or good news, because she and her husband are yet to confirm or deny anything. Yes, there are rumors that TV's has filed for divorce and that Tiwa Savage is in romantic relationship with Rugged Man after she posted a very romantic message to him and all that. But the thing is, nobody has come to confirm anything or deny anything. We just know that TV's has relocated to the USA. We just hope they work it all out. Also, still in troubled waters is Runtown. Yes, again, he is being sued by his record label or former record label, as he claims that he has left them a month ago. But now they are suing him for breach of contract. They're suing him for breach of contract for going for shows and recordings without the label's consent. But we want good music. We want to continue hearing good music from Runtown. Also, we're looking at Wizkid. Yes, he has broken our hearts. He has shattered our hopes by telling us that he's not getting married anytime soon. We all remember that Wizkid has 3 children from 3 baby mamas, and he has said that unless all the women in his life Does that include the fans? Well, he said all the women in his life, if they are willing to get married to him, then he will settle down. Like Wizkid Baba, why do you want to marry so many women? I'm not understanding. But me, I'm not interested again because I'm a dope fan, but I'm not ready to struggle. I like my man one. Anyway, so does that mean that we're looking for a new fella in Wizkid or something? But anyway, you can do what's best for him. Right now, let's check out our new and trending music videos that are definitely making waves.
Take one, for real? Take one, yeah. Man, I feel like breaking all the rules now. Too much money in the bank, or when you cool down. That was many years ago. Hey, I don't pray, Baba. I don't tire, Lord. When only heaven knows. So give me one hit song, Lord. Let me blow like Olamide. Give me one hit song, Lord. Pick me up like Adekunle Gold. Lord, I want to blow like See Me or Small Doctor. I hope you see me. So give me one hit song, Lord. Let me blow like Olamide.
Loving me big girl, I've got you a baby girl. Lucia, Lucia, you're the holy one. Now see what your child has become. Now, Baba, my eyes have seen. Baba, my ears have heard. Baba, my voice will testify the glory of your love. Baba, these eyes have seen. Baba, these ears have heard. Baba, this voice will testify.
Who was at the gate?
It was one girl like this that was looking for Olokodano Street. She missed way, so I had to show her Olokodano.
Come to think of it, we have placed the vacancy sign at the gate for over 2 weeks now, and nobody has come to apply yet. Even with the spate of unemployment in this country. Why?
Can you imagine?
Some people have been coming, but you know our house is a very fine house. I know how much you spend so much. I might not know about the foundation, but the building itself, you must have spent. So we need someone, you say you don't need gate man, we need security. So they must have WAEC and NECO, and even JAM. So because of that, I've been sending them away. They are not qualified enough.
What?
Ma?
You've been sending them away?
They don't have WAEC.
What makes you qualified to determine who is qualified or not?
My own, what qualified me is grace, ma. You took me a long time ago, and that time the qualification.
What nonsense!
Now listen. Anytime anyone of them come, bring them to me or to my wife.
Okay, or even to Catherine.
Oh, will you shut up? Do you want to go and reapply so that?
Hey, Chima, no, she's not that important. I'm sorry, ma. Madam, don't worry. Everybody that come now, even Duke and Harry, like the English you used to speak, I'll bring everybody to you and Daddy for qualification. Sorry, ma.
And by the way, why is there's too much pepper in this food?
Exactly. Instead of her to mind her own business, she'll be minding other people's business. Cha 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 cha.
Wish you guys are eating.
Otokoto.
Eating the food.
What's your own problem now?
Yes, who be that? Hey!
Yes? Afternoon, ma'am. Ladies who do I speak to regarding the security personnel position?
Are you looking for a ghost that you are not now knowing where you are going?
Well, you misunderstand me. I'm just wondering if you're the right person to talk to.
Mbano, I'm the wrong person to speak to.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for yourself. How can I help you?
Well, I've come to apply for the security personnel job, and I was wondering if it's still vacant.
Well, in this house, we need professional security man, and you don't look like it. We can't employ you.
Ma'am, I am a professional. I can assure you. Yes.
You're a professional?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have WAEC certificate?
Yes, I do. Not just WAEC. I have the WAEC. I have OND. In fact, I'm also a professional security man, and also, in addition to that, a wonderful professional fitness trainer.
Hey,
yes.
Hell, you went to train a lot, oh.
Yes, hey. I'm a professional. That's why, regardless of my dressing. Yeah.
Well, we can't employ you. You are over the level we are looking for. You are over the level.
Please, please. I'm begging you, please.
Sir?
You left food on the cooker and it's burning.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Hey, Chief.
Look at it. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Please, I came to apply for the security job. The lady told me I was overqualified.
She said so?
Yes, sir.
Let me see your CV.
I like the fact that he is educated.
I like that too. I asked him to wait at the gate. Should we invite him in?
Okay. But we still have to verify his claim on paper though.
Oh, sure. Chioma!
Sir? Hell. Sorry, sir.
Yes, call that gentleman at the gate. Tell him to come in.
Which one? The yellow one?
The black one.
God, get me that man, Ojari.
I'm sorry, sir.
I don't know how many men are at the gate.
Anyway, I just want to confirm something from you.
Yes, I'm listening.
Will you be going to work tomorrow?
I'll get the sack.
And it pays me if they sack you, you know.
I know.
How are you, Hazan?
Fine, sir.
Good. Yeah. Meet my wife, my sweet potato, the queen of this empire. Oh, Mrs. Brainerd.
But, good afternoon, man. It's a pleasure meeting you. Finally.
All the pleasure is mine, young man.
That's Hazan. I'm sure you have met our house help already. Chioma.
I can't see anybody. What maid exactly?
The one standing by your side.
So did you just call your housemaid?
Yes. Why did you act so surprised?
At the gate earlier, she said that she's the Yoga madam.
What did I say I'm the Yoga madam? What did I say that? Why are you lying? The devil is a liar. I know you.
You are the liar.
You are the liar.
For God's sake, you said that you were the right person to talk to when I asked you.
So would you talk to ghost at the gate?
Look, you should have simply said that you were the maid.
I am not the maid. Don't tell me you're not the maid. Let us not contain me and you. I am not the maid. Ask them because I'm not wearing ID card. I am the chief executive officer, the CEO, the chief housemaid in this building.
It's all right. It's okay. It seems these two will get along.
I think so too.
I'm so sorry about this, please.
Don't tell them sorry. The way you will suffer this outside, the sun will beat you outside that gate. The moon will hit you down.
Time
You Win, a life-building TV show, brings out the best in you so that you can be the best of you always. From agriculture to artistic expressions, from fashion designing to micro-manufacturing, from waste collection to web marketing, you get to meet experts, life coaches, mentors, and business guardians to help you chart your way to success and being the best of you. Now you know you are not only the owner of your dreams, but the chief driver of your dream. So join us. You Win on NTA Network Service every Thursday at 6 p.m.
Hi guys, hello and welcome to Beats Lounge, the coolest and funkiest entertainment TV show on your screen.
Samuel and Masham Perry,
J1,
K.O. Jamal,
Joel Minjin, DJ Big M.
At number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1 song.
When you're big, I bet.
Beats Lounge.
Next time on Downtown.
Sir, Oga.
So you are here?
Yes, sir.
Good. Yes, you know what?
Sir?
I want you to take this weekend off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can resume back on Monday. Okay?
Sir, please. I did not ask for any leave off. That you are giving me Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What did I do?
If I want to fire you, I don't need to be indirect about it at all. You hear?
Although I didn't ask for leave. Oga, please. Please. Why do you want to do this to me? Oga, forgive me. Oga, please.
Listen.
Sir?
I don't want you here Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hey!
Is that clear?
No.
And I don't need to give you any reason.
Oga, please, you're my breadwinner. Don't go. Oga, please, don't start me. I used to do younger because of you. Oga, please. Oga, anything I've done, forgive me. Hey!
You have problem.
Yes.
Big problem.
Yes. Oga, please.